The morning sun crept over the tall mountains, casting shadows across the quiet monastery. The monks moved softly in their daily routines, their simple robes brushing the ground as they worked. They had lived in peace for many years, far from the noise and rush of the world below. High up in the mountains, they found stillness in the silence, away from distractions. But today was different. The calm was broken by a low, strange sound. A ship was descending from the sky, its surface smooth and glowing in the sunlight. The monks paused, staring at the unusual sight, unsure of what to think. They had never seen anything like it before. At the center of the group stood Li, the wise leader of the monastery. He had been meditating, sitting in deep thought, when the sound first reached his ears. Slowly, he opened his eyes and gazed at the sky. Unlike the others, Li showed no surprise. He had spent many years thinking about life's mysteries, about how strange and confusing the universe could be. The arrival of a visitor from another world seemed like just another piece of life's endless puzzle. When the ship landed quietly in the courtyard, the monks gathered around. The door slid open with a soft hiss, and from the inside stepped a figure that was unlike anything they had ever seen. The being was tall and thin, with shiny silver-blue skin that reflected the light. Its large black eyes stared out, unreadable and dark like the night sky. Li walked forward calmly. The monks, sensing his wisdom, stepped aside and watched in silence. The alien creature stood still, its strange eyes focused on Li. Then, a small device on its chest began to glow, and a soft, musical voice came from it. "We have come to understand," the alien said, its voice translated by the machine. Li tilted his head slightly. "What do you wish to understand?" he asked, his voice gentle and calm. The alien blinked slowly, its eyes never leaving Li. "We have studied humans for a long time," it said. "We know about your wars, your hunger for power, your endless fighting, but we do not understand people like you humans, with great minds and strong bodies, who could rise to the top of your world. And yet, you choose to stay here, in the mountains, far from the rest of your kind. Why?" Li remained quiet for a moment, thinking. Then he answered. "You believe that because we are smart or strong, we should seek power. But you misunderstand the purpose of knowledge and strength." The alien's eyes gleamed, showing some kind of curiosity. "We have watched humans," it said. "They destroy things they build. They fight each other. They search for meaning, but they seem to find nothing. Why do you, who are smarter than most, not try to lead them? Why sit here in silence?" Li smiled. A small, knowing smile. "Because life is not about finding a single answer or reaching a final goal. Life is full of questions, and sometimes there are no clear answers. To understand this is part of being human." The alien tilted its head again, confused by this simple truth. "You know your search is pointless," it said. "You accept that there is no answer, yet you keep searching. Why?" Li's smile deepened, but his gaze stayed soft. "The search itself gives us meaning. It is not the answer that matters, but the journey. We keep searching because it is in our nature to ask questions, even if we never find what we seek." The alien blinked, trying to process what Li had said. "You accept that your existence has no meaning?" it asked, its voice quieter now. "We do," Li replied. "But that doesn't stop us from living. In fact, it frees us. We can choose our own paths, knowing that it is up to us to find purpose." The alien stared at Li for a long time, its large black eyes reflecting his calm, wise face. "You humans, we thought we understood you," the alien said slowly. "But we see now that we were wrong. You are more complicated than we believed." Li nodded. "Perhaps it's not humans that you don't understand. Perhaps you don't understand the idea that meaning isn't something you find, it's something you create." The alien stepped back, as if what Li said was too much to take in all at once. "But you could be rulers," the alien said, still trying to grasp the idea. "You and your monks, you are smarter, stronger than the others. Why not lead?" Li shook his head softly. "Leadership isn't about control, it's about guiding others. And sometimes, the best way to guide is to let others find their own way, make their own mistakes, and grow." the alien seemed to pause, unsure of itself. Our calculations told us that humans like you would rise to the top. You would rule because you are more capable. But now we see that you choose not to. Why would you reject the path of power? Lee answered simply, because power is not the goal. The goal is to understand life and help others understand it too. Power without wisdom is dangerous, and we are not here to dominate others. We are here to live in peace. The alien stood very still, its eyes narrowing slightly as it thought. Your words, they confuse us. We thought we knew everything about humans, but you are showing us something we didn't expect. Lee's eyes softened. Maybe it's because you're looking for answers in the wrong place. You think life is about control, but it's not. It's about living with the questions and accepting that sometimes there are no answers. The alien's reflective eyes dimmed, as if it was beginning to understand, but not fully. We must return and rethink our understanding, it said, its voice quieter now, almost as if it was unsure of itself for the first time. You are more complicated than we imagined. Lee gave a small bow of respect. If you return, we will be here. But remember, we are not here to give answers. We are here to help others ask better questions. The alien nodded, its thin form shimmering slightly as it turned back toward its ship. Without another word, the door slid shut behind it, and the ship slowly rose into the sky, disappearing into the clouds. The monks watched in silence as the ship vanished. Then, one by one, they returned to their daily routines, as if nothing had changed. But Lee stood there for a while longer, his gaze fixed on the horizon where the ship had gone. He smiled, knowing that the alien had come to Earth to understand humans, but had left with more questions than it had arrived with, and that, Lee knew, was the best outcome of all. In the end, it wasn't about finding the answers, it was about continuing the search, even when the answers didn't come, because in life, as Lee knew well, the journey was more important than the destination.